life cycle of a star. Let's get right into it. So, the stars start off in a molecular cloud, and it's full of gas and dust, and they get some really high density clusters here. And once it has enough clusters in it, it's considered a stellar nursery. And then it comes down here, and those little dense clusters bounce into each other, create a bunch of heat and friction, and it becomes a protostar. And then it finally becomes a main sequence star once it's able to do nuclear fusion on its own with hydrogen. So it's going to burn for millions of years, and it'll eventually start doing fusion with helium. And once it starts running out of hydrogen, it's going to come over here and enter the death stage. So the low mass stars, they start getting real dense in the middle and cooling off because they're using up all their hydrogen, and they start expanding because of that. They can't hold on to the gas so much, so they become a red giant. So as they keep doing fusion and shrinking and getting more dense on the inside, they're going to enter the planetary nebula phase. There, they're releasing all their outer gases, so they're basically just a hot core, and then they'll become a white dwarf when it's just a really hot small star that's really dense. And their final stage is a black dwarf, when that is still a star, but it's just not hot or significant enough to glow. Now, a high mass star down here, they're really dense. It's a super giant, super red giant. And they're going to keep expanding, and they're going to lose the power of like the gases to counter the gravity, and they're going to have a huge explosion here because their core is going to be so dense that it can't hold itself up. So that's when you get a supernova, and all these gases that were in the red giant are going to expand out to go form more molecular clouds. Then you have this really, really dense core, and this core has done fusion all the way up to the point where it's made of iron, and it can't go any heavier than that. It can't fuse iron. So it's going to come over here to one of these options. If it collapses on itself even more, it'll become a black hole, which is the densest option, and everything that enters it past the event horizon will never come back because it's just so dense and has that much gravity in a small amount of area. Or it's going to become a neutron star, which is so dense that all of the particles get crushed to just leave neutrons, and it can become a magnetar, which has a huge magnetic field, or a pulsar, which sends out radiation. And that is the life cycle of a star.